Hello guys, Brittany Krause here. I am going to show you a little bit about what I'm learning about Learnist. I decided to take a look at Learnist because I saw some of my peers did a mock lesson on Learnist, and I really liked the format. I thought it looked really neat. So I went ahead and took a look at it, started watching some videos, and I found that I really like this general program. This is my Learnist website. It's www.learnist.com. When you type it in, you can just hit www.learnist.com. You don't actually have to type the weird .st in there. It kind of pops up on its own. This is my Learnist page. If you were to log in to your own Learnist account, yours will obviously look a little bit different. And then it's got these cool features. It's essentially a Pinterest for learning, not necessarily just for the education field, but for all different kinds of fields. You can see here there's different categories, politics, music, home. Say that I want to learn something about business, I'll click on the business category, and all of these new interesting boards are going to pop up. These are going to be different featured authors. An author is a person who curates these boards online. So these are just people that Learnist thinks are cool. The one downfall that I think about this is it's kind of more along the lines of a popularity contest. Your board will get shown at the top if it has more, comments, likes, views, or whatever. So say that I want to learn something about job searching tips. Just go ahead and click on that board. The format is really easy. A board is just a category, and what you do is you pin different interesting topics, different interesting things within that particular topic, and you can create whatever you really would like, whatever you'd like to share with the world. This one's how to apply for a job. We've got don't let email ruin your chances, professional email etiquette. So that one's kind of cool. I'm going to go back to my own Learnist page. I'll hit the Learnist tab here at the top. It's going to bring up some information about me. I'm not following anyone, and I don't have any followers yet, but if I did, the people that I'm following would show up in this activity feed, and I'd be able to see new posts that they post, and new information about them. Unfortunately, all I've got is the Learnist on the web, which is actually kind of cool because it gives you lots of hints and tricks for how to use Learnist and how to make it work for you. What else you have on here is going to be an invite Facebook friends or an invite via Gmail. And that way you can kind of decide if you want to use this in the classroom, if you want to share some of this information with family members, you can go ahead and invite them. You do not have to have a Learnist website in order to look at a Learnist board. The board that I created, which I'll show you, it's under boards here. I can share this link with anyone and they'll be able to come on and view it. They will not be able to actually comment on it. But what they can do is I can actually embed a Google document on here that people can comment, a Google forum doc that people can comment or leave their or take quizzes or answer questions or anything like that. So one of the ways that teachers are using it is kind of a presentation for their lessons. What I have set up is a mock lesson on Great Wall of China. I didn't really know anything about the Great Wall of China. I thought it'd be kind of cool to gather some information and see what's out there. So this is a picture that I found on Google image results. If you click on this, it's just going to go ahead and take you right to the Google website search. Another thing that I found was a video. This I got off of YouTube, and I went ahead and embedded that right into my Learnist platform here. As you can see, you could play, and it's going to go ahead and just show you the video on the Learnist website. You can expand it to take the whole thing. One of the ways that I've seen that teachers use this is to take this page. What they're doing is collecting information from the internet resources. They're putting things online that they want their students to view, and then they actually can put it up onto a smartboard and interact on the smartboard with the website. Or they could also take it and make students go on it on their own on a computer or tablet and have students contribute their thoughts this way. Or have students even use it as kind of a tag board or an idea board for different like resources that they might use for a paper or project that they're working on. One of the cool things when you add a board, we'll just create a new board, add at the top there. Hit a title, we'll just title it whatever. You can go ahead and hit collaborators. This is going to be for anyone else who has a Learnist. So say that I'm working on a really cool presentation with Juliet. If Juliet had a Learnist, I'd just be able to hit, to search, and I'd be able to add her. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people on here because I don't have any friends, so they're not going to show up at the top. But yeah, I'd be able to collaborate, and she'd be able to add and edit onto the Learnist board as well. I can also hit a date. This is kind of a cool feature because I can hit the actual date that I want it to show up. It will show up on this date forever, or I can hit a date range. And what this is actually going to do is if I hit a month, it'll show up for however long I say, and it'll show up annually. So next year on the 11th, this will show up and say, or on the 15th, sorry. And if I want it to be done on the 17th, I can just go ahead and it'll show up until that particular time, or 2013 until the 17th, and then it'll be gone. And I can take it so that it'll show up again at that same time next year. I thought that was kind of a cool feature, so that if you decide that you want to do a lesson plan and you want to get it all done in one shot, you can go ahead and find all of your resources that you need for the week, put them up here, and just have them add themselves onto your Learnist board as the week progresses, and you don't have to continually go in and edit. I'm going to show you a couple of ways to add things onto Learnist. I found this cool about.com site, the Great Wall of China. This is just going to be an easy, brief overview. I went ahead and added the Learn It pin. Once you log in, it'll ask you if you'd like to add a Learn It pin. I did that because as I'm going through the internet, all I have to do is click on the Learn It button, and it's going to pull up this little box here. And this box is essentially just pulling images from the website, and that image is what's going to be associated with this particular website. I'll hit next, and that'll go ahead and post it onto my board. I got to select which board, Great Wall of China. I can also hit add a new board to create new board, and that's for if you have ideas while you're out and about on the internet and you're like, oh, I don't have this board created yet, but this is a great idea. I'll just create the board right then and there. But this one I'll add to the Great Wall of China board. I can go ahead and edit this, put anything I want in there, create the learning. I can set the date, as you saw up on the left corner there, for when I wanted it to be added. And if I go ahead and refresh my Learnist board, this will pop up, which is kind of cool. And it also, I like that it kind of goes down progression. So this is the first one that I posted, this is the second one that I posted, and this is going to be the third one that I posted. So I can click on this, and it will stay within the Learnist community, and it will bring up that entire website page for me. And all of these links will work, so I can go outside of the Learnist community too. So maybe good, maybe bad. As you can see, I've got a little tip for a tiny belly internet advertisement here that I might not want, so you've got to be careful about those kind of things and the information you're doing. One way to kind of work around that is just to create your own information that you want to add. So what I did was I found on the internet this kind of cool math problems around the Great Wall of China. And I had a really hard time uploading it in a .doc form from my computer, which is kind of another one of the things that I didn't necessarily like about this, is that the pictures have to be a certain size, which is rather large. I couldn't find pictures big enough to fit, and it did not want to take my .doc, which is maybe something that they'll work out in the future. However, they do take Google Docs. So this is a Google Doc that I created, just copy-pasted some of the information, changed it a little bit to make it my own, and this is just going to be some math questions that I want to embed within my Learnist website. So we'll go back to my Learnist page. Great Wall of China. You're going to want to go down to File, Publish on the Web, and this is going to be the .doc link. I'll go ahead and copy that. Go on to my Learnist site, and I'm going to hit Add, Learning from a Link, copy that, paste it, next, and it's going to pull up images from that particular thing. I can actually add my own images, but they do have to be rather large in size, and I had a hard time finding big enough images, or I could go ahead and search on Google if I wanted to. It just kind of takes a little bit more time. I'd rather just use the images that it comes up with on its own. So here's the image that I chose. I'm going to go ahead and put that on my Great Wall of China board and create learning. There we go. I'll click back onto the Great Wall of China board so you can see what it looks like embedded in the actual board itself. Delete that. And here we go. I've got a video, I've got the information on about.com, and then this is going to be some information that I embedded myself. And this way it's got no advertisements or anything. It's just a document that I have added in, and it's all the information that I want to provide without having to, worry about kids clicking on anything or going anywhere else on the internet. So I thought that that was kind of cool. Another thing is I want to show you how to add an actual map. This is a map that I found on Google. Just went ahead and Googled maps. I'm going to go ahead and copy this page. Oops, that's a video. I'll show you later. And if I go ahead and hit add from a link, paste that in there, and this is actually going to embed the map itself. Go ahead and get an image. This looks like a good one. Here's a map. And I'll make sure and hit the Great Wall of China board, create learning. And I'll show you what that looks like when it's embedded. Another cool thing that you can do on here is actually take information from Quizlet. So if you create flashcards, which I'm not sure if I've talked about Quizlet before, but I use Quizlet for a lot of my classes for studying. You can create flashcards on Quizlet, and they can be shared on the internet, and you can actually have other people help and edit them as well, which is kind of cool. You can use those flashcards and embed them in a Learnist pin so that students can flip through the flashcards. I haven't had time to be able to create Great Wall of China flashcards yet, but I thought that was a really cool feature. Go ahead and hit satellite, and I can actually go through and manipulate this map just as I would be able to on Google Maps and take a look at it. And I thought that this was a really cool feature because when you're using geography lessons or anything like that, it's just kind of a way to embed some really interesting information. I'm going to also show you here real quick how to embed a video. So I have found a Great Wall of China video here. It's got an advertisement, so I won't show you that. But I'm actually just going to hit the Learn It button again. Oh, I guess I already embedded this on there. We'll just replace it so I can show you what it's doing. Great Wall of China. All right, and I went ahead and added that video on there, which is very cool. The second video. Okay, so that was the video that I had already had on there. I was trying to get another one, but this one's on the Discovery channel. I guess I had a different video on here earlier that I was thinking about. So yeah, that was kind of just a cool little thing that it can do. You can pretty much add anything off of Google on here as well. So if you have any Google document that you can think of, you can embed on there. Another cool thing was that you can use Google to have parents contribute as well through like a Google forum, so that you don't actually have to have a website or a account in order to participate. So I really liked the idea of kind of using this to overview lessons and provide them in kind of a rich, in just like a rich format for students. You can use a smart board to put these lessons online and give them to students. But also you could go ahead and present these to parents. If I were to just copy this link, I can send this link in an email, and that way parents can go ahead and take a look at the lessons that we're doing, contribute their ideas, and be actively involved, see if they want to participate at all. So those are just a couple of cool ideas that I had about Learnist. I hope you guys enjoyed my presentation. As always, please get a hold of me with any questions you have. Thanks so much.